Hello, hello. Just taking a deep breath in. Welcome, welcome. This is day 10 of 30 lives in 30 days, and this is going to be a short one. It's very late, even though I had intended on being here earlier. That's just not how it turned out today. So I wanted to jump on because I am keeping my commitment to myself. Those of you that, hey Luz, hope you're doing well, honey. I had a download, I guess now it's 10 days ago. This is day 10, to do 30 lives in 30 days. And I was given that download and I didn't receive a reason. And so at first I kind of resisted it, and then I decided that I'm just going to listen to my intuition. So it's been a fun path so far, and as I sat here before going on tonight, I was thinking about what would be the most, how can I serve the best by talking about what, and the question that kept coming to me is, how do we handle things when they don't go the way we planned? And for instance, I had intended on doing my lives earlier each day, and now it is almost 11 p.m. on a Wednesday. So my intention is to just handle it with grace and ease and not judge. And I had a scenario tonight in my class. I had this really cool meditation planned, and I teach Reiki Crystal meditation at Casa Mana Bliss in Delray every Wednesday night at 7:30, and we had quite a large class tonight, and we've been having some weird issues with the music at the Casa, and so I've been managing to work around it, and so I have this new way I do it, and I have the iPad along with my phone, and the music was set up. I played some music, and then I pause it to chat with the students and do my teachings until the meditation part comes on, and then I continue my playlist. And the music told me that it disconnected, which it's done about 3 or 4 other times already. And so, not tonight, but on other days. And no matter what I did, it could not connect. And then we have a few speakers, and one speaker had one song on, another speaker had another song on, and I was just like, oh my God, and these poor people are waiting for me. So I ended up playing music through my phone. Why am I bringing that up here? Because how did I handle it? Of course, at first I was angry and frustrated. And then I was like, just surrender, let it go. Just play the music from your phone. You make the best of the situation and connect with God and connect with the stream that comes through me and let it go. And that's how I handled a situation that didn't feel good to me. And I know that letting go is one of the, at least I could only speak for myself, letting go has been one of my biggest challenges. And I know that for clients that I've worked with, letting go has been one of the biggest life challenges. And I feel like I'm safe to say that that's a universal thing. How easily can we let go of things, and especially when they're not going the way we desire or planned? And why is that so hard for us? I mean, really, it's so crazy if you think about it. Why is it so hard to, why can it be so difficult to just focus on what's happy? That's what we really want anyway. Yet it could be very difficult. It's this very interesting paradox in being a human being. So I don't think I really have a teaching for it tonight, except how do I handle it? I just do my best to minimize how uncomfortable it can be and get back to the what I want to be focusing on as quickly as possible. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I have some sort of being around me that thought they were very funny, but whatever it was, um, you know, but I let it go. And thank you, honey. I'm glad you were flowing with the energy. Yes, thank you. And so, yeah, it was interesting. And even my whole day was not a bad day. It was actually a very good day. And like things didn't go the way I planned. And so I can see where I am now as in comparison to where I've been in the past, because I guess I would consider myself a recovering perfectionist. And so I tend, and I used to much more, tend to get upset, like to a pretty big degree, when things were not going the way I planned. It felt unsafe, it felt uncomfortable. It really, if you boil it down, it made me feel out of control, right? And control means safety. And so, but I've learned to get more into the flow and trust, even if it doesn't make sense at the time. And I've taken this in to little things and then to bigger things. And sometimes we can find the gift in a situation when it doesn't flow, because sometimes something even better could happen. In fact, that's interesting. I was just listening to a podcast on Lewis Howes and Goldie Hawn. He was interviewing Goldie Hawn, which she is one of my like people that I look up to, because she to me represents just joy. And she was talking about a movie that she was directing many years ago when they were still using regular film. And she said it was a really long shoot, and she said it, it was like a very long shoot, I guess, and a whole thing. And at the end of the day, the film had been exposed and the film was no good. And she said that she asked everybody to leave her trailer. And I'm ready for her to say in her story that she asked everybody to leave her trailer so she can cry and freak out. But that's not what she said. She said, I had everybody leave my trailer so I can get quiet and so I can figure out what to do next. She did not spend time, or at least not a lot of time, freaking out. Instead, she went to solution. Now, I personally don't think it's a terrible thing to feel your feelings if you're frustrated, and I'm guessing that she probably also screamed or something to let out frustration. But the idea is to pivot and what's next. And she said that when they shot the scene, they did it in a different way, and she said it came out much, much better than the first one that was lost. So you never know. Something better can happen. So I don't know what better came out of my class tonight, but when things go wrong, or not the way we planned, how do we just kind of flow with it and accept it? How quickly can we accept what's happening and then take it from there and make new choices? And I think that's like really, really important. And I do think, excuse me, my eye is itching. And I do think that sometimes something better can happen, and then sometimes not. Sometimes it's just a practice of acceptance. And I do feel that's what builds resilience. Was I frustrated tonight with the music? Yeah, I had a really good playlist. And it also it broke my flow in speaking to my students. I had to, when I'm teaching and I'm in front of a class, and the way I build it, it's like a kind of an up build, and we connect and the connection builds. And so I'm leading and creating this vortex of energy, and then it's all stopped. And so, yeah, of course I was frustrated, but I knew on a bigger picture that the most important thing is how I handle this, right? And I've had other situations in the past in class, and it was always about this is the teaching. How do I handle the curveball? And yeah, and it does boil down to how do we let things go? How do we not take things personally? How quickly can we say, okay, I accept what is exactly as it is right now, even though it's not what I planned and it's not what I would have scripted. And that creates freedom. It creates freedom. It creates resilience. So yeah, so it was definitely a lesson much bigger than what I was teaching in my class. And who knows, maybe the way I handled it reflected to somebody else how they're handling a difficult situation in their personal lives. And I'll never know if that's the case, but that is a possibility too. Or maybe something even better comes out of this. Who knows? But yeah, so that's what made me think about tonight is, how do we handle difficult situations? And sometimes the situation itself is not the most important thing. Sometimes the situation, it's how you handle it, is actually more important. It was probably more important than even the Dharma talk that I gave and the whole thing. Oh wait, here's a comment. The most important is the energy you are holding for them. It goes beyond the physical part, beyond the music. That's exactly correct. That's so beautiful, Luz. Thank you. Well, you've obviously have been there, and yeah, and that was and it's true because, and then I brought in humor, and there was a connection, and I spoke to some of the students after, and they were as blissed out as they were as students have been in past classes. So yeah, and it just boils down to how do you handle things. So I think the lesson tonight is, for you to walk away with, how do you handle when things don't go the way you plan? How have you handled them? And how can you set the intention for future things? We don't want to plan for things to not go well in the future, but knowing that no matter what, I'm good. I'm good. I can handle it, and there's something very empowering about that. So, yeah, I was bummed about the playlist, but the most important thing is walking around to each person and giving them the energy that they deserve, and to hold space in the group so that the vibration rises and expands, and that's all good. But as for tonight, the thing I'm walking away with is sharing, how can I always handle things in a better way, in a high vibration way? How quickly can I let things go? So that's my online chat for tonight, and I promised myself I'd be short tonight, so that's going to be it. I'm sending love. Thank you, Luz, for being here. And for anybody else that watches the replay, sending you so much love. And feel free to post in the comments anytime that you've had a situation that didn't go the way you had planned, how you handled it. Whether it was something that you felt really great about the way you handled it, or, hey, Therese, whoops, I just clicked it. Or how you handled it well, or how you wish you'd handled it. And if you wish you'd handle it a different way, you can re-script it in your head so that it already did happen, so that the next time you have the practice. All right, I'm signing off, sending so much love. If you missed the beginning, please watch the replay. Let me know your thoughts. Good night, everyone.